When you're confronted with the smoking wreckage of your life and relationship, a relationship that you probably thought was endgame when you started out, how do you move forward? When every picture, every song, every memory reminds you of the life that you had, and maybe the life you wish you still had. How do you rise from the ashes of a life burned to the ground? You probably survive by telling yourself, never again. I'm never going to let myself end up in this position again. But there are 3 things nobody ever tells you about surviving and thriving after such devastation. Keep watching to discover the crucial steps most people miss when rebuilding their lives after heartbreak. You found yourself in a position in life that you never thought you'd be in. You found yourself unexpectedly single after losing the partner that you thought you'd be with for the rest of your life. And now you're faced with the pain of not only trying to get back on your feet and put your life back together, but also having to figure out where to go from here. But what if there's a hidden step that can make all the difference? How do you ensure that you never end up in this situation again, or at least do all in your power to avoid that? Whether this was your choice or their choice or no one's choice at all, you now have no choice but to move forward. And there's a lot of ways to do this, but there are a lot of wrong ways and only a few right ones or healthy ones. And they're probably not what you'd expect. Statistics show that over 60% of second marriages end in divorce, which makes it painfully obvious that people in your situation don't handle what you're going through very well. I'm making this video to reveal 3 crucial steps that can help you avoid becoming part of that statistic and truly heal from your heartbreak. You see, the problem with pain is that it drives you to do anything and everything to try to get out of it, to try to get it to stop, to find some relief. Pain motivates us. For good or for bad, pain motivates us to do something. Most people, in an effort to try and make sense of where they find themselves in their lives, as they downsize their homes, downsize their cars, downsize their budgets, they realize that the years have taken a toll on who they were. And then they start to question who they are now. Religious beliefs, sexual orientation, their identity in general. It can be really hard to find a clear and accessible roadmap to navigate the confusing maze of what your life has become. If you feel like you're stuck in a dumpster fire and can't find your way out, I'm here to help you uncover the path and your next steps forward. After we expose the typical ineffective ways that people cope with being unexpectedly single, we're going to dive into a completely unconventional approach that will set you up for real healing and lasting happiness. You've probably seen some of the different ways that people cope with the pain that you're experiencing right now. There are the people who totally take their lives off the rails, partying, hooking up, jumping into any relationship that comes along way too fast. And they end up burning what little was left of their life completely to the ground. And then they come off looking like the problem in their last relationship. Then there are the people who close the blinds and draw the curtains. They curl up in bed and try to escape their new reality and the pain that comes with it. Almost everybody goes through that phase at some point. And we've all seen the phenomenon of the revenge body, which takes the idea of bettering yourself and channels it into an unhealthy obsession with your appearance, all too often in an effort to show the ex what they're missing out on. And here's the thing, the same pain and disillusionment drives each of these very different ways of coping. You're at a crossroads right now, a chance to change your life for the better. And if you take this moment to really think about how you got here and why you got here, you can find the strength to stand on your own and become a healthier, happier version of yourself. And not just healthier and happier than you are now, but healthier and happier than you've ever been. Certainly healthier and happier than you were in the previous relationship that you've come out of. You can't undo the fact that you're here. It sucks that you're here. But not being here isn't an option. The choice you now have is what you're going to do with where you are now. And what you do next will determine everything. So the reason I'm talking to you today is because you need to hear this. You can escape the pain you're in and move forward in a radically healthier way. I'm going to share 3 unconventional truths that will not only get you back on your feet, but also empower you to take control of your future like never before. If you'll let me, I will not let this moment define you or confine you. The final thing that we're going to talk about is perhaps the most important to understand at this point in your journey. But first, I'm going to start with two other really important ones. The first one is my core temperament model. There's a part of you that can't and won't change. It's innate. And when you try to change this part of who you are, you're going to fail. Feeling like you've lost who you are is one of the most difficult and challenging aspects of where you are in your life right now. This is most effectively remedied by connecting with who you truly are at your core. I've developed a proprietary system for understanding this part of yourself that's been validated by more than 15,000 people. And you can begin the process by taking my free assessment. And I'll include a link in the description below. The second key or tool that I want to talk about is resource management. You can't give what you don't have. One of the absolute most difficult challenges of being where you are now is that where you used to have a partner to help you carry the daily load, to whatever degree that was or wasn't working, it now all rests on your shoulders. You need to learn how to balance the resources and the stressors in your life in an effective way, or you're going to end up stuck with nothing left to give. And when it seems like everyone wants a piece of you, and you're not sure that there are any pieces left to give, the sheer weight and pressure of these expectations can make you start to crumble. Some things in your life can change or shift a little, but you also need to learn how to work with the inevitable drains that aren't going anywhere now. And you can only do that by making sure that you're doing things to fill your personal reservoir or your bucket. And I've developed a proprietary system to make this process super achievable and understandable. Okay, the third thing and the most important thing that I want to talk about. If you get nothing else from this video except this, it will really bless and help your life. One of the loneliest places in the world to be is alone in a relationship. And chances are that you felt like that a lot in the last little bit in your relationship. And I get that. I don't want you to have to feel this way ever again. And believe it or not, there's actually a science to connection and loneliness. And we've cracked the code of how to make this information extremely accessible and implementable, that's a word, into your life. You'll probably find that what I'm going to teach you about this can explain some of why your last relationship failed. One of the most confusing things to try to figure out in your position is how this all happened and how to avoid it again. And you're probably going to find that what I'm going to teach you about this attachment, about this blueprint in your head, is going to help you understand, and it's going to explain a lot of why your last relationship failed. There's this invisible blueprint puppeteering the strings in your life and in your relationship that's nearly impossible to break free of if you don't even know that it exists or why it exists or what to do about it. And unfortunately, it was written into your life decades ago. Once you really understand it, it's going to blow your mind. So I've prepared a simple assessment to determine what your rule book is, and I've included a link to this free quiz in the description below. I know all of this is overwhelming. I know it's hard to move forward when the grief and pain feel like quicksand, locking you in place. I've been there. And I know that there is a time and a place for grief. So I'm not expecting you to move through this faster than you're able. And if today's not your day, I get it. But one day very soon, you're going to need to wake up and take control of your life again. Because nothing is going to get better until you put in the work to allow yourself to heal and grow from this pain. So today, or when your day comes, let me and my coaches walk beside you on your journey to find healing and happiness again. I included a link in the description to book a call with me because I want to see where you're at right now and where you want to go. And then I want to help you move forward from the painful place that you're in and make sure you do everything in your power to keep this from happening again. Let me reiterate. You can't magically change where you are right now, but you absolutely can control how you cope with this moment. And by taking control of how you cope, there's so much that you can do to make sure that you don't find yourself here again.